Dr. Rizky, and just now Prof. Hanafi. Hanafi, are you here, Prof. Hanafi? Prof. Hanafi and Dr. Teguh Yudo are much more well versed in the idea of global sustainability and the link with sustainability. And I will contextualize both of those concepts with Halalan Toyyiban. And um, that will be the frame of my presentation today, of my deliberation today. Shall I go to the next? Oh, I'm controlling it. Oh, wow, wonderful. Okay, hopefully technology will be kind to me and my eyesight as well. Okay, there you go. All right. So where's the laptop? Oh, where am I controlling? Where should I point? There. Okay. Oh, there, that direction. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was thinking about here or there, somewhere there. Okay. So just like what the Dr. Teguh Yudo was mentioning just now, I'd just like to highlight a couple of things. Yes, you are the only university in Asia, for that matter, who scored one in the ranking of 3 SDGs. Right, there are 17 SDGs. So the poverty SDG, the peace, justice, and strong institution SDG, as well as partnership for the goals. So there are 17 SDGs. Right, so the impact ranking, University of Science Malaysia have achieved such status, I suppose. Yeah. So the journey began about 20 years ago, more or less. Right? And this is more or less the outcome. Right? 17 SDGs, and we scored in I think a couple of years ago we were ranked number 4, number 4 in world sustainability-led universities. Now, I'm not here to promote SDG. I'm here to critique it. Right? What's wrong with SDG? I'm sorry if I over criticize. Uh, what's wrong with SDG? All the 17 SDGs do not have spirituality in it, do not have religion in it, do not have God in it, right? And the world are full of people who are believers. The world are full of people with religion. SDGs do not cover that, right? There's something wrong with SDG, right? We need to decolonize SDG. We need to tell the colonizers to stop colonize our thinking, to stop colonize our standards, to start colonize our country, to align with this new god of development called SDG, right? We need to rethink. Otherwise, they will start to tell you this is your new compass, right? And you will pray to the 17 gods, 17 deities. We need to rethink. And these deities do not have soul, do not have God, do not have religion, do not have spirituality in it, right? Are they good? They make you feel good, but they do not have what we want to have, right? And the purpose of us being born into this world is what? To ibadah, right? To serve, right? To submit ourselves to God, right? This is what they are teaching us. This is what they're teaching our universities. This is what they're teaching our government, right? I think I can stop there. Thank you very much. I go home now. I do have. Sure. Okay, okay. I just open for question and answer session right now. So I'm content. I'm contextualizing. Okay, I'm contextualizing. I had 2 contexts. I have more, but I just want to focus on 2 contexts. One is Islam, and but what is the green stuff over there? It's not coming from my laptop, is it? Oh no, I'm not. This is not. It's not linked. Okay, sorry. So number 1 is the Islam and Nusantara. Let me go to the other slide. So the okay, this slide is good. All right, there. So all right, there's something wrong with the font. Anyways, so the first context is Islam in Nusantara. Nusantara being basically the archipelago. Some call it Malay archipelago, some call it Southeast Asia, but not all of our Southeast Asia. Basically, the civilizational space where we occupy, right? So there's 2 contexts. One is about Islam and Nusantara. So I'm putting forth the argument that Nusantara can be seen as the final fort, the final frontier of peace and progressiveness for the Ummah. The Westerners, the colonizers, have gone into many parts of this world and have created havoc, have created departmentalization, have created different conflicts, right? And they seem to be penetrating to this part of the world. So I'm making to protect us. And if we do not protect this fort, this final battle, the Muslim Muhammad fall, right? Uh, it's a strong argument there, right? So, but we need to understand, we are not just protecting the Muslims. It's a place where Muslims and non-Muslims live together. And the role of us being Khalifatullah as the vicegerent, as a stewardess would be people who take care of the airplane, right? Okay, I'm not wrong word. Right? Khalifatullah, the stewards of this land is to make sure that the rahmatan lil alamin, the idea of rahmat, the idea of barakat, the idea of goodness is spread not just to the Muslim but also to the non-Muslim, and that is playing the role of a Muslim leader, and that is Muslim leadership. It is not to say that I'm good, you're bad, therefore I must live and you must die. Right? We are living together and we will protect all people. Right? And I'm saying that this is the first context. We've got to understand that Islam, if you do not protect Islam, they will come and break us apart again and again and again, and many different ways. And I will show you what ways they are doing it to us. And the next one, see, this is where I don't say next. I got to do my own work there. Yeah. Oh, no. The next one, well, I'm going up again, back in time. Go down there. Okay. Okay, the second context is this. We all probably heard about the first wave, the second wave, the third wave, but you haven't, then I would help to refresh it. The first wave is about the evolution of society, where those who control the agriculture, the land, right, controls the world, right? If you will have massive amount of land, you are the landlord of the world, right? And you start to have a lot of power. So at the beginning, it was lands. And then come industrialization, where it is about resources. Those who control resources or factors of production under management is what it's called, right? You control the world. So you control the industries, you control the manufacturing, you control the physical resources, you control the world. And that's the second way, because we have the industrial revolution, together with that, with the steam engine, together with that, come the Taylorism, the scientific management of how we should organize humans as commodities together with other commodities. That's why we do not call humans as insan. We call them as human resources. That's right. Humans are resource. They're not insan. They're not wholesome beings. They're just resources. Just like material resource, just like financial resource, every other types of resource. So humans are being reconceptualized as resource, not insan, right? No spirit. Then you do not care about how you feel. You do not care about your soul, right? And then you're just a resource. So this is the second wave. The third wave under Ibn Toffler, he talks about information. Right? So if I take anything, like let me take this example. If I take plastics and metals, right, and sell the same weight of plastic and metal to you, it might cost less than 50,000 rupiah, maybe less than that, 30,000 rupiah, right? But if I assemble them, put them together with information and technology, with knowledge, then you can assemble something called microphone. You can sell a higher price, right? Or you take just metals, right, and sell metals. Might not be expensive, but you break the metals down into small ball bearings, little things that do not have fans here in Malaysia. You don't have fans. Chef, see, we have ceiling fans in Malaysia. Or that small little ball bearings in the wheels, right? In the bicycles, so basically. You can sell at a higher price. But you take the metal and you turn it into like a watch like this one. It's not very expensive too. You can sell it about 1 juta lah, kurang lebih gitu ya kan. Okay, 1 juta. So the more information, the more knowledge goes into any product, the value of the product goes up. Right? The more algorithm that goes into it, the more software that goes into it, the more mental work that goes into it, the more information technology goes into it, the more the value of the product. And those who create and control the information technology, knowledge, the algorithm, they control the world. As we talk about, Bill Gates, blah, 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 Larry Ellison, they control the world. But they don't tell you the secret behind it. There's a fourth wave embedded together with the information wave. Right? So the fourth wave is already here, but seldom do we realize together with the information wave, the fourth wave is like this subversive, subliminal, the subterranean force that comes in and penetrate together with the information wave. We think we talk about information wave, but together with the information wave is the fourth wave. What is the fourth wave? Okay, let's go to the fourth wave. I don't think I need my laptop anymore now. Right. Here it is. So there's two concurrent waves, two concurrent revolution. Right. So one is the more overt, terang-terangan, yang bisa lihat, something that you can see, right? Not easy, but more overt. It's not secret. So you talk about information wave, but the other one is much more covert, right? Which is the spiritual wave. So we're entering a stage, a phase, an evolutionary phase of our society, which is undergoing re-spiritualization. It's an era where there's integration of responsibility, there's integration of ethics, there are new institutions to respond to global stewardship. The problems in the world right now are global problems. So a new set of institutions are being established with their own standards, with their own solutions, with their own systems to solve problems of the world. And they control the stewardship. They say this is the standards of goodness. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. These are the new institutions. This is the spirit behind the system. It is the values behind the institutions. It is that spiritual wear behind the software, the ethics, their ethics, not our ethics. And they decide what's good, what's bad. So what we are seeing now, materialism and scientism will increasingly be problematic, and religion and values and ethics and standards will come back to lead science. So that's what Einstein said. Religion without science is lame, but science without religion is blind. So if you have, religion without science is you have all this philosophical, this deep sense of values, but you don't have science, you don't have technology to make it happen. So you become lame, right? You cannot move fast, paralyzed to some extent. But science without religion is blind. It's I can do it, I will do it. What if, therefore, I must? If I can create Frankenstein, I will create Frankenstein. If I can create new technology to control your mind, heck, I will control your mind. I want to test. I want to know whether I can. Therefore, I will. That is the type of spirit behind scientism, right? You cannot control because AI is inevitable. Yeah, you cannot control because globalization is here to stay until God sends COVID to you. Then you say, oh, globalization cannot work now. We got to stop all these people moving around. We got to stop, we got to think about delinking. We got to think about having our own food security, right? So this is science itself, science being not scientists, right? A type of paradigm, right? Without religion, it becomes blind and it can kill you. It's like a F1 car moving around and hitting different people. So let me connect directly to what the essence of our presentation today: certifications. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new world and the new gods, new deities of the world. We bow to the new golden what? Golden ox, golden, right? Yeah. Now, if you look at economy, if the Standard and Poor's, the Finch, the Moody's come in, tell the country, you have moved from AA to A minus or BBB to BB plus, people will remove the investment to go to other countries because the standards institution control what is good, what is bad, and people believe them. We believe them. Our ministers, I do not know about Indonesia, because I do not want to be detained here. I do not know about Indonesia, but in Malaysia, we believe this. These are our gods, that they say we are A minus moving to BBB. Let's do something, right? Let's change the Minister of Finance. So it's that kind of practice. ISO, International Standards Organization. I mean, they are next to the Quran. This is the Quran of the world, right? They control the standards of the world. They have ISO 14,000, 13,000, 13, and 1,000, 13.234,000, right? They even have ISO for halal. They have that too, right? They have ISO for just about anything, right? Who created this ISO thing? The British created it at the beginning. And look at ranking of universities. We all bow to this ranking of these universities, right? This is our new God. Yeah. Yes, my Lord. I follow you, my Lord. How can I increase our ranking, my Lord? Right? Right? And you think you're smart. I give you an index. It's called H index. Right? You think you're smart? You're H3. You think you're smart? You're H5. You think you're smart? You're H2. Right? So you have all these thick books. It doesn't matter. You have books because we are giving you an index. Right? Your journals, it doesn't count because it's not Scopus. By the way, that's the highest one in academic field. There's a new God. Let's all bow to Scopus. Not just Scopus, Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1, right? And you want to become professors. Yeah, this is the God that you must bow to. You pray 5 times a day, you pray 15 times a day to Scopus, right? Yeah, make sure your solat hajat, right? You in night you make up, you pray to get Scopus, right? This is the standards right now, right? Transparency International there, right? They'll tell you which country is good, which country is bad. They control the narrative. They control that your country have terrorists. Your country do not have terrorists. And yet they are the number 1 terrorist in the world, right? No one has used nuclear power before. They have used nuclear power. And they're now visiting Malaysia, by the way, right? Huh? They can come in with the militants. That has become a meme now. Oh my God. I mean, Malaysia is becoming popular for the wrong reason, man. Global Reporting Initiative. I'm certified GRI, by the way. GRI is a Global Reporting Initiative. That's for sustainability reporting, right? And you have the center in Jakarta, by the way. GRI is the center is it's for CSR, it's for sustainability reporting, right? So companies, you want to be good, you follow this reporting system, right? Because next to financial reporting, you need the sustainability reporting. And by the way, you want to become good, you want to make money by being consultants, get GRI certification first. Then you can go to company. How's your sustainability indicators in the field of the marketplace? And they have like 6, 7 different kinds, I used to be a big critic of it, but I look at it, oh, it's not bad, man. This is good. GRI is getting better. Right? But this is the new God of companies, new God of universities, human beings, you got a country, and you got just about anything, right? So they decide. This is the certification. They decide. So now those who control the standards of right and wrong control, or good or bad, control the world. They control. If you control value system, if you control the institution of value system, you control the world. They say you're a bad country, all the world believe you. Your friends believe you. You say you have bad economy, all the investors believe you. This is how powerful the new institutions of the 4th, 5th have become. Right? So, I haven't finished yet. So what's happening? Scopus, yeah. So it has become total hegemony and total thinking. We all jump ship from our ship of our journals and our publications, right? Books are not so important because you do not have IKU or whatever in Bahasa. KPI, key performance indicators, right? It doesn't count when you publish all this, what is this nonsense work, right? Is it Scopus or not? No? That's a question right now, right? Is it Scopus or not, right? If it's not Scopus, it doesn't count and you don't get points, okay? You cannot get promoted, right? Right? Doesn't matter you have this stick, doesn't matter at all. Right? Dr. Rizki's research is excellent, by the way. But you do not have Scopus in it, that's it. But there was a time that doesn't matter, right? And it was not too long ago, by the way. But about a decade or so ago, right? Now, about a decade ago. So now people all believe in this hegemony. It's total, and we jump ship and we'll sink. We will sink at our own ship because no one takes care at our journals, no one takes care about our books, no one care about real authentic intelligence, real authentic work anymore. Not just that, they have hegemony of knowledge institution. They are controlling institution. So I'm asking you, where is our Nusantara Scopus? Where is our Nusantara ISA? Where is the Muslim Scopus? You see, we do not have Muslim Scopus. We have the Western Scopus, and we pay the money, right, to publish. We pay, right? I understand that people pay what, 20 juta, 20 million rupiah, or 30 million rupiah, right? And then you want to read it, you pay some more, you have to read. You want to do, you carry out research, you pay. You publish, you pay. You want to read, you pay. Is that some kind of scam, right? We are being scammed, man. We are being scammed. We're being exploited. So many smart people, we are scammed by this whole stupid system, right? Right? We are scammed, right? It's better to sell bakso and then make some good money, right? And not be scammed than being scammed by this. The whole institutions are being scammed by this stupid creating system. New imperialism here. So, this is another example. I haven't finished yet. Right? This is CSR. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the first CSR course and degree being offered in Malaysia, we introduced, I was the one, right? And Dr. Rizki is the first one who graduated with a PhD in that field. So, okay. By the way, this is all a CSR certification. God, this is unlimited, right? And they keep on creating new one. But what about us? What about the Muslim CSR? What about Nusantara CSR? We do not have certification of goodness. We're beginning to have like one or two, maybe Sinta or something like that. But Malaysia has my side, right? Trying to survive, but they are dominating big time with all the certification. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls of all ages, where is Islamic certification? Where is that Islamic certification? What's happening with Islamic certification? Right? Where is it? Not sure what happened to that green thing. Right? I think the Israelis are penetrating my PhD. Pegasus is doing that thing. It's not good, man. Yes. They have that limit the camera. I bet that's why for your laptop, make sure you have this masking tape. Put the laptop there, right? Just in case CIA think that you're important enough to spy on you. Right? Okay, now let's move on. So, by the way, here we go to the one Savior, God, Allah, and His Quran, right? In the Quran, halal is never separated from toyib. It's always halalan toyiban. It's a unified concept, right? I think is if you read in the Quran, never was it separated from toyiban. It's halalan toyiban. What is permitted and what is good. What is permitted and what is good. But here comes the smart Muslims. We create a certification called halal. And we stop there, right? That's how smart we are, right? We are trying to outsmart God, right? The halalan toiban. No, we want to do it. Halal is good enough. Halal is good enough, right? And we create a whole system to cut this principle that God gave us, and just to uphold halal. I do not know about Indonesia, but Malaysia does that, and we're proud of it too, right? Because Malaysia is ranked very high in the global scale, whatever, right? Which is created by not that one. I will come back to this one. So this is the principle, halalan toiban. We got to uphold, come back to this power, right? You got to come back to this source of power, to the real divine power, to the word of God. Halalan Toyyiban. This is our way to succeed and triumph and to come back to our God, right? So if you look at the Muslim and the world halal economy, because there is no halalan toibat economy yet, right? This is kind of a dated statistics 2023. There's 2 billion Muslims. According to Dinar, spending halal products is about 2.2 trillion. That's in 2019. If you look at agriculture, there's 1.1 trillion. Growth of halal food, 3.5 billion every year between 2019 to 2024, with estimated value of USD 1.38 trillion. I was trying to convert to the Indonesian, but I cannot get the right. So it's 2.8 quadrillion rupiah, right? Longer than that, I will need a longer screen. So we are talking about huge, massive, right? Potential wise, I mean, this is amazing. If we miss this boat, we miss the greatest economy, and they will dominate it, right? So why halal and toiban? This is one reason, because halal, there's no toib yet, and this is a what in management called blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy is a strategy where you do not fight with other people. We go to where the area that's needed most, and we offer our expertise, our services, our thinking, our talent in that area, and we grow the area. And the area is not just halal, but halal and tayyiban. Shall we pause for a while? It's Azan, right? Let's pause for, is it okay if I pause for a while? Just Okay, Alhamdulillah. Now we are back to talking about halal and Toyyiban. Let me share with you some ranking. This couple of these slides I was preparing for mostly Indonesian audience, right? So, no, one moment. I don't know Betawi word for it. It's Jakarta, right? So, right. Mm. All right. So this is 2022, and then I'll show you the 2023 top 15 global Islamic economy indicator score, right? So this, if you look at how the institutions of sustainability, the more like Islamic dimension of halal within the various areas, right? We see this is 2022, by the way, yeah. Islamic finance, halal food, Muslim-friendly travel, modest fashion, pharmaceutical, pharmaceutical and cosmetic products, media, recreation. The black one is Indonesia. The top one is Malaysia there, right? So that is the position so far, and is what Dr. Togo Yudo mentioned this is very, very true, right? So we look at all this. We have Russia in halal food, number 4, 2022. So thank you so much, President Putin. Right? I mean, seriously, we can Singapore for Muslim-friendly travel, number 2. We look at the modest fashion, the China, right? Thank you to TikTok and things like that. France now, pharmaceutical, cosmetic products. Belanda udah pulang nih untuk menjajah kita lagi nih. The Netherlands, Netherlands number 3. The colonizers are coming back to Indonesia to colonize us. Yeah, right. Belgium, France, are coming back. So this is the where we are. But the point I want to raise here is this: we can win this war, we can win this battle because this is our field. This is our battlefield. We understand this one. But if you are not careful, somebody else will overtake us. Somebody else will conquer the space. Let me show you the next one. By the way, the new one has come up, but I haven't captured it in my presentation. So halal food, Indonesia is up there, number 4. Islamic finance, Indonesia there's number 6. Muslim-friendly travel, number 6. Modest fashion, number 3. Each of you can also look at whether your country is in this list as well. Indonesia, number 6. Number 4, halal media, number 4. Now Indonesia ranked number 3 in the world right now. With Saudi, UAE, Bahrain, Jordan, there, Pakistan. Just now I met a student from Pakistan just now. Wasim, are you here, Miss Wasim Saab? MashaAllah. Ab kya se hain? Okay, good, good. Yeah, uh, this is our field. We understand it, we can do this, and we can win this one, right? And your former prime minister, former president rather, the vice president Ma'ruf Amin, Kiai Haji Ma'ruf Amin, has actually, we go to this one, this is quite recent, 16 July, right? He's launching an a lembaga, a kind of institution within Indonesia to help get Indonesia into the Sharia sector. Now, I'll tell you something. I'd like to share a bit about the experience in Malaysia. Islamic finance in Malaysia, right, has been there for some time and has been there number 1 in I think 8-9 years now. Majority of the customers are non-Muslims. Majority of customers of the Sharia compliant financial products are non-Muslims. What does it say? It means that the principle, the goodness, the Toyib part of Islam can benefit, has value for non-Muslims as well. And the whole idea is not to colonize the non-Muslims, it's to share the goodness with Muslim and non-Muslims. That is the purpose. That's the whole purpose why we talk about Halalan Toyyiban. Not just permissible, but also good. Not good only for Muslim, but also for non-Muslim. That is where this whole civilization, this whole Muslim civilization should be revived, not to discriminate people, not to kill people, not to subjugate people, but to liberate people. And if you can see other countries, even though they are non-Muslim countries or Muslim with non-majority, countries with non-majority Muslim country can also participate in this, right? Uh, my favorite cheesecake cheesecake restaurant. It's called Secret Recipe. I'm not promoting it. I'm not getting money out of it. It's owned by Chinese. It's owned by non-Muslim, right? But it's halal. So I go and eat at that place. But about right before COVID, the Muslim Authority of Malaysia, it's a halal in Malaysia is a government apparatus. It's a government agency. Close it, and they have power to close. So because they are not NGO, they have a government. So I was concerned. Oh God, I've been thinking something haram all this while, right? But as it turns out to be that this restaurant at that time was found to be unhygienic, not clean enough. It's halal, but not toyib, right? So the idea of toyib has been incorporated into the halal definition of certification in Malaysian, evaluation of restaurants. Now, if I take a piece of paper and I take this tissue right now, I eat it, right? It's halal. It's not toyib, right? If I take chicken right now and then basically most of the chickens in the market, I suppose, and eat it, it's probably halal. It's halal, but it's probably not toyib because it have all the not insecticide, antibodies and all this different kinds of vaccination. Thank you very much. I'm not anti-vaccine by the way. But vaccination. The way they cage the chickens, not allowing the chickens to roam freely, that's not toyib. So we need to rethink about our halal chicken. It should be halalan Toyyiban chicken. So do we have Toyyiban definition of chicken? Halal, let the authorities deal with it. But we scholars, you scholars can come up with different halal certification. And you can promote this halal certification. If you want to have good chicken, not just halal and toyib chicken, this is the certification, right? Now, majority of my students are from outside Malaysia, right? And they're from China, by the way. One of my students doing his PhD work is on green food China. There is a movement away from green food China because there's a distrust of green food China, right? Away to which certification? Halal certification. They say if you want to have something that is good quality, safe, you go to halal certification. In China, we are talking about China right now, right? In China. So you see people starting to believe in something that has value, Islamic principles, Islamic values. Just like the Chinese in Malaysia, they are the majority customers purchasing Sharia compliant financial products. This is not buying bakso, right? This is not just buying, bread. This is real investment. So they believe in it because there are good things in that financial system, Sharia compliant financial product. So if others can believe in Islam or Islamic principles, we Muslims should believe in it even more. But the problem is we ourselves do not have the same level of faith, right? We do not think that Islam can solve this problem. But I'll tell you, once you get into this idea that Islam is a supersonic solar radar rocket, right? You do not need to do anything. You just get into it, it will fly. You just get into it, it will fly. You just look at what is good and attach the certification to what is Toyyiban, right? And you fly, right? You know that is I don't have a plate here. A plate, right? Piring, right? Plates. In Taiwan, they are halal plates. halal certified. Have you, anyone have been to Taiwan? Some hotels have the plates halal certified because there are this course right now that says plate can make a porcine, pork bones, pig bones. So they're afraid that Muslim tourists do not want to go to the hotel and eat from the plate, right? So they certify it. So if we can certify, what else can we certify? We can certify just about anything else. Because all aspects of business can be certified to be good or not good. You got to use the Toyyiban principle and use Islamic principle. Is this done in a way that exploitative to the labor? Is it done in a way that is good to the environment? So you can have green Toyyib. You can have labor Toyyib certification. You can, in your finance, you can have that too, right? So all aspects of, you can come up with Toyyib, and then our universities can combine and come up with a certification together, right? And then we can say, let's, now that you have coming from different countries, let's join force and do a certification together. There's there's nothing wrong with it, because you don't talk about halal, you talk about tayyib. But then you can attach. This is the word. Good that you don't have mineral water. This water is not just halal, but it has a tayyib thing. Just like they have, what is it? Dolphin-free tuna, right? Or free trade certification. Free trade is where the trade is done in the free way. It's not exploiting the producer. It's not exploiting the customer. It's not exploiting the middleman. Free trade, it exists, by the way, right? So we can come up with our own. You guys are, you are scholars, you are thinkers, you are PhD students, you're master students. Go into that field. Come up with certification. Come up with a website, and you can do this, right? I'm wrapping up soon, right? Now, Indonesia, one success story. The modern halal valley, 500 hectares has been identified in Banten, right? Now, not too far away from, I was there. Not in this halal valley, but in Banten. Right? Green halal. Green is toy. Halal is halal, it's permissible. So this is the way to go. This, in my observation, this is the biggest halal, modern halal valley in Southeast Asia, probably in Asia as well, right? So we can think about, what else can we define and attach to the word halal, and that is toy. Now, now we all talk about AI right now, right? This is Jeffrey Hinton. He has resigned from Google because he said Google is not founded on ethical principles. He is afraid that Google turn into some kind of monster. He's afraid that Google is turning into some kind of Frankenstein, and suddenly the self-aware becomes, the whole Terminator, scenario, right? So we cannot control a super brain like AI, right? So it's not just the information technology, it's not just the algorithm, but the ethics behind it. So they have created a monster without a moral compass, basically. And AI is leaning that way. Not just him talking about it, the late Stephen Hawking talk about it, Bill Gates also talk about it. I'm not sure about now, but Bill Gates is Bill Gates, right? So what's happening, right? Where is our AI? Yeah, it's just our AI there. Malaysia launched the Noor AI, the world first Sharia compliant application. So they're just starting now. They're just starting, right? So it's called Noor AI. So anything, we can think about it. We can think about just about anything in this world that requires goodness going into it. We can do that, right? There's Noor AI. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about two strategies in place. First one is certification strategies. So one is to start with some simple requirements and then move to a higher and higher standard. What is a Toyib Musola? No. I'm not referring to any musala. I'm not referring to any musala here. Right? But what is a Toyib Musala? A Toyib Musala will have this 7 criteria: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, or something like that. And then you go to different musala. You can't give a ranking to musala, take pictures of it, put it on the website, and you give 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1 star, right? Back in the years that I was teaching CSR, my students did something like this, but it's not about halalan. It's about toilets, right? They did take up one issue and toilet. They were doing rating of toilets. So much so that the Penang government was so disturbed by the website. So one person did this, right? Right? They closed, they stopped the contractor doing that toilet. They replaced it with somebody else, right? And the toilet is in the airport, by the way. Right? So it's powerful when you do a 4-star, 3-star. It's a fame and shame approach. But you come up, man. This is not about Toyib, right? It's a Chinese student doing that in my class. Come up with the website and think about awards. The best musalla, whatever, the 5-star musalla. Come up with that one. Make an event out of it. You can organize that, right? Make an international event, right? Especially appointed expert committee of musalla scholars, something like that, right? You can come up with that, and you can get your friends to do that together with you, right? Think about swimming pool, Muslim-friendly area. Now, when people talk about swimming pool, right? Sharia compliant swimming pool. What is Sharia compliant? I'm not sure. They think of separating men and women. Or then when we talk about this, some will say, "Oh, you're creating a Taliban system here, right? Taliban. I'm sorry if you have Afghanistan friends over here, right? But you know what? Some Europeans hotels have implemented it, and the customers love it. The women customers love it, and women tourists who travel around used to are generally about 40, 50, 60 years old and above. They do not have this bikini body, right? They have more like burkini body rather than bikini body, right? So they know how to show the body to the men. So whenever they implement a Sharia compliant, Muslim friendly area, they did not call it Sharia, Muslim friendly. Certain time is only for the women. The women tourists like, so the Westerners, the non-Muslims appreciate this. So again, we are not against a religion. We are not against a different religion other than Muslim. We're appreciating good values and sharing the good values with the rest of the world, with the rest of humanity. That's all we're doing, right? Think about hospitals, think about malls, think about toilets, etc. Cosmetics. Do we have wudu-friendly cosmetics? Right? Wudu-friendly. Do we have that? Do we have that one? Wudu-friendly cosmetic? We have, right? Do you have it? Yes, we have. It's a niche area, right? So wudu-friendly is a toy certification. So you can certify cosmetics and say, is this wudu-friendly or not? Just and become an expert in the area, right? Cutlery plates is one example. So we can talk about whether it's toy or not. Toy for whom? Toy for children or not? Toy for elderly or not? Toy for mentally emotional, what is this? Toy for persons with disability or not? Yeah, can talk about toy just about any field, right? So we can think about that. It's peak toy, peak, peak the apa namanya? Indah Pantai Indah Kapuk, Kapuk, yeah. It's peak toy. Can you access the white sands? Can you? Huh? Not sure. I mean, it's like if you go to the beach without ability, I'm not sure about that idea. Yeah. In Malaysia, we cannot privatize the beach. By the way, you can access the beach. They cannot privatize the beach, right? But then again, so you can think about toy in just any aspect of life, right? And do that. You can start small and build that way, right? And then what do we do to do? We must create alliance and internationalization strategy. Because if you do a career certification strategy and just do it at a very local area, Depok, for instance, right? It might be limited, but if you do Depok and Maghribi and then apa namanya Islamabad and Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta, you might be stronger strategy because you're spreading it, internationalizing it. So think Nusantara, Indonesia, Malaysia, perhaps even beyond that, right? Think about influencers. You got to have influencers coming in, the NGOs, the local, the national, the international, student organization, get together and do something together, internationalize your strategy. You say this is certification that is practiced in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 countries, recognized by 17 NGOs, right? Eventually, the government will come in, right? Bring philanthropies in it. people who are willing to put in money. Come up with that name. This is called what's an example of a rich millionaire in Malaysia? We have Al Bukhari. Al Bukhari, halal, Al Bukhari Toyyiban Musola, yeah, certification. Give them a name. Give the philanthropist a name. So this is, I have like 5 other strategies there, but I'll just conclude there. All right, and then if we have further discussion, come. We can have a we can have a follow up Q&A answer. Q&A session rather. So thank you very much. We'll open the floor if moderator allows, if time allows. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Muhammad Reevany Bustami, for the presentation. What an insightful knowledge for us regarding the Halalan Toyyiban certification, the process, and the strategy. And now we would like to open the floor. So to anyone who have a question, okay, this one here, one. Second, anyone want to ask a question? Please don't be shy. Yeah, because I think this public lecture is also the course for geopolitics, also social finance, principle of sustainable finance also, and business and technology also for the batch 2025. So any other one to ask? Okay, let's start with. Okay, please state your name and programs and the question.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Prof. Bustami. My name is Haryani from PhD second year. Thank you for your delightful explanation. Actually, it's very interesting. Moreover, when you explain about the new God, and we all realize that now Muslim actually especially Muslim countries did not have any certification standardization. And your explanation actually leads me to some of questions, if you don't mind. The first question is about the halal certification standard. It's you mentioned about the global standardization, but here we realize that we didn't have any standardization in global world actually. If we talk about the countries, we know that every Muslim countries have their standard for halal certification, but we didn't have any standard halal certification in global world, especially in halal Toyyiban certification, global halal certification standard for the Muslim countries in around the world. Okay. And the second, when we talk about the halal certification, actually we relate it to the auditor Sharia, right, Prof? So I want to ask about the credibility of Sharia auditor. Actually, how we guarantee the quality of Sharia auditor itself. Could they give the best, result for make the halal certification, halal Toyyiban certification? And the next question is about, you mentioned about Islamic economic indicator before. So my question is, does it reflect the principles of Maqasid Sharia too, or it just the branding of halal? Just want to show the world that it fulfill the requirement of halal business. And the last question, Prof, it's about the research itself regarding the halal and Toyyiban. How to specify the variables? How do we divide halal and Toyyiban variables? Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, of course. You can answer right away, or would like to hear another question first? Or you want to answer all together? Okay. Okay, Professor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Prof, for the wonderful presentation. My name is Fahad Babangida. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm a student of MPhil second year. Actually, I saw about the lecture is about halal certification. So as someone who works with the food industry, I said, yeah, this is the right time for us to come and ask some few questions that we have had from foreigners who come to our restaurant to purchase food. So I worked with KFC for 6 years. So when I was employed, actually, all the managers were non-Muslim. So I have this curiosity of, is the foods we are selling there halal? As a Muslim, I will also sell to Muslims. So I try to find out all the products that were shipped. I try to check they were halal certified. So fortunately, there was a day as a salesperson, someone came in who wanted to purchase chicken. He was like, he saw my name tag Fahad. You Muslim? I said, yes. Your product halal certified? I was like, yes, they are halal certified. He recommended me to say, Wallahi, it's halal certified. As a salesperson, all I want is the money from him actually to make a sales. So I was like, Wallahi, it's halal certified. He had the confidence and bought the product from me. So after a few days, I was like, so what if they are not halal certified and I've already sworn that it's halal certified? So what in precise, my question is, how, or people like professionals like you, how can we restore the confidence in the Muslims whenever they go to places other than their place of residence? How can we restore the confidence that when they still halal certified, it's halal certified? Already there is I read recently in Malaysia in 2021, there is also halal certified fraud on one of the companies. They were selling non-halal ingredients, part of something like that. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay.
Before I proceed, just like to know your name again. Haryani. Okay. Sister Haryani and brother Farhad. Okay. Fizi? Right, Farhad. All right. Okay. Very, very important question. I think this and they are connected. I hope I will be able to answer. If you're not satisfied with the answer, that's a good thing. Because you will pursue the question even further, right? Halal auditor and the idea of confidence in whether it's halal or not, right? I tend to lean on the more conservative side on halal part. I'm not talking about Toyyiban, right? My lecture today is about Toyyiban, not halal, but it's definitely relevant. I tend to lean on the more conservative part, conservative side of being halal. First of all, I think that we need to question the myth or the belief that if you yakin is halal, therefore it's halal, right? You yakin, belief, yakin, if you believe it's halal, therefore it's halal. Okay, there's no hadith that says that, no. It says the opposite. If you're not sure it's halal, then avoid the food, right? It doesn't say if you believe it's halal, therefore you can eat the food. No, there's no such hadith, right? You got to make sure the process is halal and all that. Therefore, then you can eat the food. Now, to answer your question just now, it will go back to number one, do we understand the process of the auditing and the credibility of the auditing process, right? If the process is credible and the people involved are credible as well. So an example in Malaysia, if you have your cases now, there's no Muslim running it, right? Then you cannot get halal certification. So the supplier needs to be halal certified, right? And there need to be operators there present in the back room, with a certain minimum number to be accepted for halal certification. And there'll be random checks as well, right? So that is one important criteria, right? So, and then once you believe that this follow a certain rules and you check this is follow certain rules. Now it goes to the idea of authority, right? Who has the authority to check? Who has the authority to, decertify? Right? And the authority usually falls onto the government, right? Now, it depends on the context. Once upon a time, Indonesia is the MUI, right? The Majlis Ulama Indonesia. Right? Now the process becomes even more complex. There's the food, the authority. There's the the Kementerian, the ministry. Right? There's a whole bunch of people coming together. Right? So once you establish that this line of this authority and this line of authority is credible, then as a Muslim, you say, okay, the responsibility is back to the, I'm not promoting any political ideology, back to the Khilafah, right? Back to the governance, the Islamic governance. So the Islamic governance, because we won't be able to check all the food, right? All the food that we eat, we won't be able to check. That's why we have a government. So the government has established a set of procedures with auditors that are credible. Then it is a government responsibility. What becomes interesting is one government recognizes the other government's authority, which happens right now, right? Then we are talking about halal, we're not talking about Toyyiban now, right? So like Malaysian government, the JAKIM recognizes Indonesian, right? We also recognize Thai. We also recognize Singapore, right? Now, interesting because we are talking about trust, institutional trust, right? Which is a study by itself. China, at one point, did want to adopt Halal Malaysia as the authority. So they want to have the auditors and institution set up in China so that people trust the product because they, no, maybe not all of them, find that people do not trust halal certification of China. They don't know why, but that's the situation. So it's a marketing or branding issue. Right? So when it comes to that level, then we will need to ask ourselves, should we trust? Could we trust? To what extent can we trust? And I won't be able to answer that question. You will need to pursue that question and answer it yourself. So would it be difficult for people who travel from one country to another? Yes, it will be difficult. Because if you do not trust the system and the system is not trustworthy, right, then it becomes a question mark whether you can eat that thing or not. In the Philippines, there are 6 halal logos, right? It so happened that I have a student who, graduated, a PhD student, you know her, Nefertari, right? She's working with the Islamic Institute with the University of Philippines. She showed me, be careful with the bread. You got to go for this kind of halal certification and all that. Why? Because we have like 6 different tribes of Filipino Muslim. They all fight each other. Something like that. Basically, that's the reason, right? So it is difficult, right? And I find it very challenging when I go abroad, to get halal food. So they might not want to follow my idea, but this is where I would question when I see something that is not, it's not, was it credible? But it be difficult. I know. I mean, I was in the States. My first 2 degrees was from the US. They say if the American Muslim were to follow the Malaysian Muslim, they'll be starving to death, right? Because I won't eat McDonald's fries and fish fillet, whatever, because the plates and the oil and whatever. But there are American Muslims who do, because they need to eat and they want to eat much more freely. So it's not an easy situation, right? So I'm not sure I answer your question about the auditors. So different countries have different auditing system, but our countries tend to start to recognize each other's halal certification, and perhaps partly because of political, perhaps economics, perhaps also truly that's the case. Like in Thailand, you actually have some Indonesian descent that are in the halal lab doing halal certification. So there's some level of credibility there. Not the variables, that's good, right? So, so since you talk about research methodology, our research center, our research center is the oldest social science research center in Malaysia. And we are being entrusted to teach research methodology to all postgraduate students in from our university who are non-science, meaning physics, biology, chemistry, we do not teach, but management, social science, humanities, communication, we have you managed to escape that time, and now we are doing that for all the postgraduate students. So for research, you're asking a research methodology question, right? I give you an example. One of my students who have graduated now, he become her research is on Halalan Toyyiban. So this is where we think about it, right? So she was, this is a bit embarrassing, but I will share with you a bit. This is not demeaning any culture, whatever. She was researching halal food in the what is it? In many different sectors. So there's one sector, according to the observation, everything's halal, right? Bakso, by the way, everything is halal. Everything are halal. But suddenly, terima kasih datang. Suddenly, right, it's halal. Everything's halal, right? So suddenly, the auditor went into the bakso. I think I'm really laughing. I think he knows it. Eh? No. Yeah. I do not know which bakso. I went to the bakso soup and pull out a cloth and underwear. Because according to some voodooism, some shamanism, right? When you put a curse on that cloth, you attract more people to come and eat at your place. Pelaris, right? Huh? Azimat. Yeah, Azimat. Yeah, some voodoo satanic, no, satanic or whatever, right? So everything about it is halal except for that thing, right? And that thing is clean, by the way. So is that halal or not? Huh? Shubhat for so the auditor need to make a decision. Is it halal or not? So, okay. I do not know. I'm not fiqh. I'm not a fiqh person, right? But the auditors need to make a call whether you have something like that, right, which is like a voodoo. You know what voodoo is, right? Some in Arabic, what we call that? Sihir, right? Sihir. Yeah, a bit lower level, not the vampire kind of sihir, right? But we believe there are monkeys running around. Right? It seems like Indonesia and Malaysia believe in the same demons or polaris, which is monkeys. Yeah, right. It's running around, right? And so there, is sihir will disqualify as halal or So that's the Sharia thing, right? That will question the whole thing, right? And so we have somebody who's practicing some form of sihir, right? Although I think Polaris is a normal thing in this part of the world, right? In Malaysia, they will baca some doa, right? We have a dinar, dinar, seribu dinar, right? 1,000 dinar, which is basically Quranic verses, right? Quranic verses. So we have doa, we have Quranic verses to make that things more sellable, right? So you got to make that judgment call. So it's not easy. I'm not saying that. Is it? So variables to be considered the metaphysical variable as a variable of halal, right? There's something to think about. So maybe this is where the Muhammadiyah people can come in, right? To Muhammadization of bakso or whatever else. Right? I'm not demeaning bakso. I just ate bakso just now. Huh? Meatballs, yeah, just the meatballs. you guys need to know what bakso. Bakso is like the national dish, street food of Indonesia. You haven't tried it, you must try it. Just ate this now. Right, so you have bakso in Malaysia too, but bakso is mainly Indonesian own thing. Although the word bakso is actually Chinese, which means bak is Hokkien for meat, right? It's not as possible in Indonesia. You don't have bakso stalls many over. We have burger stalls. There's another one where we have burgers. Equivalent to bakso is Malaysia is burger, right? We even have one burger in front of the McDonald's, which sells better than McDonald's, right? So the variables. So there's a bottom-up type variables. There's also top-down type variables. So in the research methodology, the variables. But if you're talking about fiqh, it's very deductive. So it's based on the Quran, based on hadith, you come up with the right variables. But if we talk about Toyyib, then it's different, right? Different people have different perspective of what Toyyib is, because it's about good, right? So goodness is practiced in certain contexts. So there's the Quran and Hadith, but there's also from a bottom-up perspective of what's good, and this is also contextual good. So when we talk about what's good for the Grab drivers, it's not all in the Quran and Hadith, right? So we got to go down and research the Grab drivers, right? That's because that's what Dr. Iko did. She researched, found out that Grab drivers are not insured when they do not drive, right? So there's something like that. So when they drive and they hit somebody, then they're insured. If they do not have a customer, right, they are not insured in Indonesia, right? So the example, but then that's not in the Quran and Hadith too, right? Not literally. Right? So something you got to define the variable in the context itself. So I hope to some extent I've answered your question, but be dissatisfied with my question, because there are more to your question, and those are important questions, by the way. And I haven't been able to answer your question in 100%, because you are talking about a trust issue. But if you have wallahi and you've done that, you better go and contact the person back, right? Maybe there's something I do not know, right? But when you do that, the guy will do an Abu Bakar thing, throw away his, trying to vomit out the food. I'm not sure, but you feel guilty, then you got to pursue that and be clear about that, right? So that would be my thought, but I'm not sure that's 100% correct. So. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, last question, perhaps, Professor. Okay, last question for this session.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ola Kodri. I'm from Nigeria, MA in Economics. Thank you very much, Professor, for your presentation and everything. We've learned a lot today. I have a question. It's in two sides. So the question is concerning halal certification standards in a country whereby corruption evolves or reigns, and mostly not an Islamic country, just like mine, Nigeria. How can a non-governmental halal certification standard survives in the situation whereby every company, we have a majority Muslims in Nigeria, and every company wants halal certification, and if the certification standards are not governmental body, the companies can manipulate the authorities by giving out more donations and like bribe and stuff like that. And as we all know that the Muslim sector, we always lack money. We always lack funds, most especially when we don't have the Islamic government. How can the certification standard survive this kind of situation? That's my first question. And the second one, if it is controlled by the government, how can we survive as well? Because when it's controlled by the government, it's even worse than being by the private sector. As you've mentioned that
maybe in Malaysia, it's been controlled by the government, but in our country, we have one. It's controlled by the Muslim Congress. It's a private sector. And the one that's controlled by the government is NAFDAC. So they don't go into deep into halal certification. And there is this controversy about a product in Nigeria, a sausage product in Nigeria. It is halal certified, and there is this controversy that it has pork in it. And we Muslims, mostly in Nigeria, we don't really care. But when the matter arises, we always be like, "Oh, I don't want to eat gala today. I don't want to eat this certain product today." And the next day, we go back to it. So we have no choice. So how can we survive these two sectors when it's under the government and when it's privatized? Thank you very much.
Okay. Your name again, brother? Hola. Hola. Okay. It's a very good question, which I do not have an answer to. The challenge, first of all, about the NGO. My take is on NGO is this. NGO has a very important role to play, and that is to be the eyes and ears of the society. NGOs have certain weaknesses as well, which is the enforcement weakness, right? NGO doesn't have the legal power usually, right? Might be different in some countries, but usually NGOs do not have the legal power to close, to sanction. But perhaps at best they can do is to retract the certification. They can do that. So NGOs has that weakness of enforcement, but NGOs have a strength of to observe, to report. So if we are talking about institutional capacity building. How strong are our institutions? So the civil society institution. I mean, I hear stories about NGOs in certain countries too, where they import cow skin to turn into kerupuk. I will do not mention which country. Yeah, I won't mention which country, but Kulit, yes, yeah. They import import from Thailand, right, into that particular country, right, and then they to make kerupuk, right. Kerupuk is the cracker, the the cracker thing, right. And I've spoken to the person who imported it. The person is a Muslim. The wife is not Muslim. So they reveal, and they are very flexible about religious practices. They revealed that they imported the skin from Thailand and bribed the authorities, right? Because it might not be halal, but that happens, right? So authorities is also another source of problem there, right? So we are talking about institutional capacity building. How strong are our institutions? So when I see something like that, the NGOs need to play multiple roles, and we might not want to rely on just one NGO, right? So, and there can be like I suppose if you have MUI, you can have also Muslim Consumer Association or Halal Consumer Association, something like that. So there needs to be other NGOs or the complementary NGO to create an ecosystem of NGOs that support this whole trust of what's halal, what's not halal. And as for the government is concerned, I mean, you're talking about antitrust, anti-corruption. This is where this challenge to our countries, that's sad about Muslim countries. A lot of Muslim countries have that problem of corruption, that our officials can and auditors can be bought, right? So we are talking about institutional capacity building of the government as well, and to that extent, this is where there are certain practices you can employ, and it's not just the government. The government can co-partner with the NGOs, right? So when you inspect, the NGO and the government go together. Of course, they can also form an alliance of crooks, right? The league of villains, right? Right? They can do that too, which also happened, right? So it's not a straightforward answer, but we hope that when you have multiple stakeholders involved in the overseeing, implementing, enforcing of halal, hopefully there'll be a much better thing. And hopefully the Jama'ah, the hands of God, the hand of God is in the Jama'ah, right? Hopefully that is a solution. And then again, it still can be exploited, but we've got to keep on moving and ensure that there are things we can do together. And we cannot rely on just one source, I guess. Yeah. And of course, in the netizen is another source, right? So yeah, it'll be another one. So you one of the things you could do is to do a reporting system, right? Create a website, mapping all the cases. Whenever there's a case, you just map it, and that can be your research as well, and it can be part of a publication. You can map out, which city has more, which city has less, which region has less, that kind of thing. Which type of food, which type of industry has problem with the certification, and that can be part of your research. You can do a proper mapping, right, of that, and then you start establishing an authority of reporting, right? A practice of reporting. Create the apps. Whenever people have suspicion, they just press the apps, they can report, right? And then the apps would trigger, some kind of action, either with the NGO or with the government. So I think there are a lot of things we can do, but I'm not sure it is 100%, foolproof. But I think we can come closer and closer to the solution, or the ultimate solution, because I think the ultimate solution is with Allah, of course, right? But we can arrive at better solutions, right? Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the student who raised the questions. Thank you for the answer, Professor. And next, as a token of our sincere appreciation for sharing his invaluable knowledge, we would like to invite Acting Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business, Dr. Teguh Yudo Wicaksono, to present a token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Muhammad Reevany Bustami.